So when you're standing, there's a couple of basic things that I see. One is either with our back, we have a tendency to kind of stick out our butt and dump into our lower back, or there's a tendency to round forward, be hunched, kind of like if you're on your computer all day or if you're playing a lot of video games, right? So there's two different things that we're going to address here. One of them, the first thing is this. What happens here is someone who has like a bigger arch in their lower back, it's more comfortable to actually just stick out like this. So what we want to do with that instead is work on starting to engage through your abs, but not so much that we go the other direction. So what's going to start to happen is you want to start to bring your tailbone comes down, and this is something you can just practice if you have this happening. You can bring your hand to your belly, bring your other hand to the small of your back, right above where your tailbone is, and you're going to just start to focus your body, helping it move forward and back. So the place that we want to come to is eventually this neutral spine where we're standing up straight. But if you tend to be way too open, you want to do that here in the lower body. Another thing that you can do too is with your ribs. This is good for yoga, this is good for anything that requires a lot of strength, is if you're always sticking out here, your upper back isn't able to engage and support you. So you want to take the rib cage and start to draw it in the front. And so your ribs probably aren't going to actually move that much. What's going to happen is it's going to help the upper abs engage. So that action of drawing your ribs in is going to engage your upper abs and help support you in your mid back. Those are two great things that you can do in practice. Look in a mirror and check those out for yourself. And if your lower back is super tight, definitely check out the video that we did on the shoulders, on touching your toes, and on squats. There's little things in there that you can do to help open up your lower back. So if you're the other way, and you have a tendency to round forward or be super hunched here, what's happening is all your chest muscles are super tight and your shoulders are overstretched. And so what we want to do with that is to start to open up through the chest and create space here. Definitely check out the shoulder video for some of that stuff. But one thing you can do right now is you can take one of your arms. I like to bring my hand out kind of to where my shoulder comes out of my collarbone. You can just start to move it back like this. And while you do that, you want to make sure that you're not sticking out, but you're staying active through your core. So that's going to help you out. So while you move that back, you're going to start to open up this front side of the body and help train your shoulder to work back behind you. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring your hand over here. Shoulder draws onto the back best you can. So it's going to move, instead of rotating forward, go onto the back. You're just going to start to move it back this way. And these are super quick, easy things that you can do really at any time. If you're sitting at your chair, if you're standing, if you're walking somewhere, you can do all of this stuff. Another thing that's going to be good to practice is a lot of times you get really tight in here, your shoulders are hunched, and your neck is forward. So one thing that's really going to be great to do is to start to do some basic neck mobility. So while you're here, facing forward wherever you are, you can also do this seated. You're going to look over one shoulder and then the other and go back and forth, making sure that your gaze actually focuses on something when you look behind you. And at first, you might only be going, this far. As time goes on, your neck is going to open up, and eventually you'll be able to pick the same point behind you and look at it. You're also going to go up and down. And when you go up and down, you want to keep those shoulders on the back. So open up the chest first so you can have a little bit more space here. Then you're going to start to look up and down, again, focusing on a spot. I used to close my eyes when I did this and I got really dizzy. So you want to make sure that your eyes are always focusing when you're looking up and down. Next thing you're going to do to open up this area is one hand is going to keep that shoulder pulling back. The other hand is going to come to the side of your head. Just start to move your head the direction of your hand and move your shoulder down and away, creating a stretch here in your trapezius and in the side of your neck and all the tendons that hang out here. While you do this, you can move your head forward and back. That feels okay. Starting to work into that area and opening up the loose ends, loosening up some ends and some tight stuff in there. Come back center and hold. And then switch over to the other side. So the hand's gonna come to your shoulder, their hand's gonna come to the top of your head, and rotate that shoulder back, and just start to stretch over to the other side. Hold there for just a second, and the same thing. You can start to look forward and back, forward and back. And hold for just a moment, and then come on back up. One of the biggest things you can do is to not just be stiff all the time. So whenever you get a chance, move your arms around, Move your neck around and start to pay attention. If you're sticking out and you catch yourself, start to draw back so your ears come in line with your shoulders and your neck stays long. Same thing with those shoulders. If they're rounded forward, they're not gonna change overnight, but slowly with time, even if you remember just for a second to sit up straight, hold it, and then go back, you're gonna start to train your body into that movement. So that eventually you'll be able to have your shoulders upright, your core will be active to protect you, and you'll be able to stand upright, sit upright, and generally just feel a lot better and healthier.